Okay, this is Mike Hunt coming at you. I thought I'd give you another little message on this Good Friday. It's quite an important day to a lot of people. It means absolutely nothing to a lot more, I would say, in reality. But I want to talk a little bit about it and some issues associated with it. First of all, just to celebrate the beautiful blue sky that we've got today and a lovely bit of sunshine. Spring is in full effect. The birds are singing. There's flowers on the bushes. There's leaves on the trees. It's a good day to be alive, everybody, and it's going to be a good weekend. So I hope that a lot of you have fun this weekend doing whatever you're doing. I hope you get suitably distracted from the mundanity of the rest of your life. I hope the reward of these couple of days will make up for the torment that you might be subjected to for the other 361 days of the year. Sorry, I'm being a little bit glib there. Of course, a lot of you probably enjoy your lives, and you should, because life is wonderful. Right, there's a lot of cars buzzing around in the background here, so I hope you can hear what I'm saying. I hope it's not too disturbing. I want to try and say something quite important today, because, as I say, it is Good Friday. So what is Good Friday? What does Good Friday mean to you? 2 days before Easter, right? Chocolate eggs, maybe get a fiver off your nan or something like that. The nans still give fivers now? I doubt they do they? It's inflation has probably hit that practice as well. I never got money for Easter, by the way. I think I always, even as a child, thought that was quite a disgusting thing to give money at Easter as well. I mean, it's quite a disgusting thing to give money at Christmas. In fact, that's the day Jesus was born, by the way, they say. If you believe that story, that's the purpose of Christmas anyway. And the most disgusting thing is that probably a lot of people have no idea about that now. Rightly or wrongly, I'm not saying that I believe that story. I'm not saying that people should believe that story. I'm not saying people should praise Jesus, but I'm saying that if you have a whole day in the calendar becoming the most important day of the year, it should be remembered for what it is, and it ain't. It's remembered for being the day that you can get lots of things, and the months leading up to that are a great opportunity to sell lots of things, and that's what Christmas is now. And Easter, I guess, is pretty much the same, but mostly centred around chocolate. Oh, fucking hell, I've got helicopters and everything over me now. It's so fucking noisy in the city. Better that I do these videos in the countryside, or at least in a park. I just couldn't be bothered to walk over there today. Anyway, Good Friday was the day Jesus died, they say. Again, the story might not be true, but I kind of believe parts of it. I believe in a man called Jesus, and I believe that all he did was, talk about stuff like I'm talking about now, and talk about stuff that, like, a lot of philosophers and, pop singers and people and, TV presenters, I guess, to a lesser extent, talk about stuff, people that believed in love, people that believe in taking care of others, people that believed in the greater good. I think that's the kind of person that Jesus was. Person like us that talk about things like this, that want to spread a message to people. Yes, I am comparing myself to Jesus. Bear with me, I'll do it a little bit more in a minute as well. And I think that he probably was assassinated by the hierarchy, like we've seen so many times before with anybody who really tried to spread a message of love. People like John Lennon, people like Martin Luther King, people like Gandhi, people like Abraham Lincoln, anyone who basically tried to make a difference and change the way that society was being operated. These people pretty much get murdered by the architects of society. So that's what I'm saying about Jesus. That's the kind of guy I think he was. I think he was an activist, a revolutionary. Was he the Son of God? Possibly, and I'm going to explain what I mean by that. Now, I probably should jump a little bit back to the part where I compared myself to Jesus, because that's probably the part that is going to have you shouting at the screen right now. When I do that, I do it from the perspective that we're all like Jesus, you know. We all want the best for everybody. We all care about the greater good. Well, most of us do anyway. I firmly believe that most of us do, but we get deluded, you know. We get deluded by our lifestyles, and we get deluded, of course, for the most part, by the media. And you know, we get led down this alleyway. We get deceived that life is all about accumulating material possessions and becoming successful and powerful, and, you know, being superior to others. We get deceived by the system that we're raised in, mostly by the media, a little bit by the educational system, sometimes by the people around us, because they've been through the same system before us, you know. And every now and again someone stands up and says, you know what, it don't have to be like this. It's not actually true, this lie that we're living. It's not actually true. And we can actually you know, we can run this world in a totally different way. We can try and make this world better for people, and we can do things in a different way. And I think Jesus was probably one of the most successful people at doing that, and I think he probably made had a massive influence on the world, and he got a lot of followers as a result of it, and he was killed as a result of it. And but because his idea was so powerful, because his idea was so strong, I think that people used it. The establishment that I was talking about before, the powers that be, they used his idea to basically maintain control over the rest of the world, and it's been really successful because they made a whole movement out of it, which they call Christianity, and a lot of other movements have offshot from that, you know, and have stemmed from that. And a lot of people, you know, with slight disagreements about it and slight variations on the theme, have made new movements. And this has basically been happening over a period of approximately 2,000 years, according to the Gregorian calendar. But, you know, what do we know about that? We don't know anything about dates and time, you know. We barely even know what time is, to be honest with you. It's literally just a concept that we use to differentiate one moment from another, you know. But the reality of it is, it's all one moment, and we're sharing that moment. And, you know, the part that you or I perceive as our life is such a small portion of even that moment. So anyway, where was I? What was I talking about? Yeah, so I believe in Jesus, and I believe that when he said that he was the Son of God, well, I don't think he said that, to be honest with you. I don't think he said that at all. I think he maybe expressed some belief in the unity of the universe, you know. I think he had some idea about the, you know, interconnected nature of all things, and, you know, I think he made some suggestions about how to serve that thing as a whole, and by serving that thing as a whole, we would in fact be serving ourselves. And that's what I think he did, and that's why I think he became so popular, and that's why I think they took hold of his message, and they found a way of controlling the world with it, you know. And I think that he recognised that in the way that I recognised that, and in the way that, you know, as I say, lots of people have recognised that over time. I don't keep mentioning him in every video, but Russell Brand seems to have a fair idea of that. David Icke had an idea of that. He went on television and said so much, you know. But of course, we know, you know, what people think of him. You know, we know what people think about people who come to this realization and who actually say it publicly. They think that they're mad, you know, because, you know, in a way it is madness, you know, to think that, you know, we might be, you know, to think that we might physically be an individual placed on the earth by God to make the world a better place is probably, you know, a bit of a crazy idea. But people, you know, people like us, we learn this from our education, the education that teaches us about people like Jesus and teaches us about concepts like the second coming and things like that. We learn this idea, and because of the, you know, this dogma that's just been like banged into our heads over all these years. When we have this experience, this understanding of the truth, this connection with the universe, this connection with reality, when that happens to us, we start to misinterpret it as like, shit, am I the son of God? You know, the way that Jesus was and all that. And, you know, Jesus probably never had this interpretation. Jesus probably never said these things. But people have said it since him. You know, people have come out with this, and now some of us get a bit confused sometimes, especially if you've got like a checkered history like myself, and you know, you've perhaps you know, put yourself in situations that, you know, lead to further confusion, and you've struggled to cope with certain things, and you try and find solutions, and you start to have some kind of, you know, delusions and things like that. And it does happen, you know, because we're very complex beings, and understanding ourselves is a very complex thing, which we struggle to do, and we will probably never ever be able to do completely, but we try our best. And there's something to be said for the idea that we are all God's children, and this revelation could come to any one of us at any time, and you've got to accept it, you've got to let it into your life, because if you do that, you're gonna be able to treat people in the way that truly you would like to be treated. And if everybody did that, then nobody would ever have to worry about what happens in their lives, because they would know that they are under the protection of all those around them, and all those around them would be equally safe in the knowledge that they too were protected. I believe it was expressed as something like, do unto others as you would have others do unto you. Now, while we're on the subject of Jesus comparisons, because I've only got 2 minutes left on the video, I'd like to say that the powers that be, the establishment, the man, whatever nickname you want to give them, they're fully aware of this, and they're trying to capitalise on this, and this is why you're seeing a lean towards some kind of spiritual ideas in certain sections of the media. I was very interested to see the last, I mean, I haven't lived in England for many years, and the first time I saw the Queen's speech was this year, 2013, and the Queen spoke about meditation and prayer, which surprised me, and now this year, Easter 2014, fucking David Cameron is speaking about his what a devout Christian he is and how much he loves Jesus. Now, you know, if you think, you know, I'm an egomaniac for daring to compare myself to Jesus, if you think like Russell Brand, who clearly also believes he's the second coming, you know, is an egomaniac, or you think, you know, Jesus himself was an egomaniac, there's one person who should not be comparing himself to anything divine whatsoever, and it is David Cameron, because the man is a cunt. I'm going to elaborate on why David Cameron's a cunt in the next video, I think, because this one's almost up. I'll speak to you soon.